charge and a murder charge. And then there was questions about whether Bob killed Carol, because her death was ruled very suspicious. She like hose in the tailpipe in the garage, and they had drugs in her system. And Bob's story just doesn't make sense, because he was already dating Tracy, and had married Tracy actually a month before his first wife died, and Tracy had no idea that he was already married to this other woman. And yeah, it's just a crazy story that this guy befriends, has this past with this woman named Carol Nadine Strong. And then you find out that none of that all is documented. It's all in newspaper articles. It's all in criminal proceedings and stuff. All that would have come attention to background check investigators, and he would have never got a security clearance with that kind of background. You can't get a security clearance with a criminal background, and especially with like manslaughter and drug and meth charges and stuff in your background. So that stuff is very real. It exists. Corbell will never debate me. He'll never even say my name when he talks about the debunkers, because he doesn't want people to find me or my excellent, well-documented and thorough research, unlike all his crap that he puts out. Well, he sits here and tries to lecture us on, UFO disinformation campaigns. Man, he's got huge following. I've been demonetized and shrunken down. I have 119,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I can barely get 200 people watching me live, because they've shadow banned this information. Well, they've pushed this UFO disinformation and crap story stuff straight to the top. They've completely buried the truth. And you see that everywhere in the mainstream. It's a massive effort to cover up the truth. And you, Mr. Corbell, are a huge and integral part of that. You're one of the most prolific spreaders of disinformation on the entire UFO topic, and have been for the last 7 years since you appeared on Joe Rogan. So debate me, you coward, you bearded fool. And I would love to talk about who in this community has been spreading UFO disinformation, and who should be arrested for treason and sent to criminal proceedings for lying on a massive scale to the American people. Who, Jeremy? Why don't you come on my show and let's debate who in this community could be or should be legally prosecuted under the law for running a massive deception campaign on the American people. Who should be? Whose information checks out, and whose information is verifiable? Is it verifiable that Bob Lazar went to college at MIT, like you argued against, well-renowned UFO researcher Stanton Friedman? Ever seen that debate with? Look up the Stanton Friedman debate. Jeremy Corbell. It is the most disastrous debate and interview you'll ever see. This is why Jeremy Corbell doesn't do debates anymore, by the way. This is why Jeremy Corbell won't mention my name in public on TV, even though I'm his greatest detractor in the entire UFO community. The guy has been putting out videos debunking this mainstream fraud, disinfo fraud, for the last 7 years. I've been exposing this and getting a lot of hate from his followers for it. That Jeremy's the real deal, and he's there fighting for the truth and is part of these congressional hearings. And dude, you said, you lied to the American people right there. You said you were part of secret congressional hearings. You don't have a security clearance, so you were not part of secret congressional hearings or any of the secret hearings. Nothing secret. Okay. The stuff that we talk about on alien scientists and that I've been exposing, like in my UAP technical disclosure summary, is the kind of stuff that you'd find in a technical, in a classified briefing at one of these congressional hearings, these classified briefings. That is the type of stuff that they talk about in classified hearings. Not the kind of shit that alien UFO shit that you peddle on your channel, the UFO bokeh and triangles and the jellyfish and the 29 Palms video. None of that crap is what they discuss in secret congressional hearings that you do not have access to, that you lied just now in your video about UFO disinformation and how people should be arrested for spreading and lying to the American people and spreading UFO disinformation. You claim that you were part of secret hearings, and you weren't. Nothing that you have disclosed or talked about on your channel is anything to do with the real UFO secrets. You are a goddamn complete and total fraud, Mr. Corbell. And I challenge you to debate me. I challenge anyone in the UFO community to come into one of my spaces on X and challenge me on this. Challenge me on the facts. Let's debate this. Let's talk about who spread more UFO disinformation. This is your debate with Stanton Friedman, where you basically said you justify lying. You said, oh, so what? He lied about his education. Doesn't mean he was lying about everything else. Because Stanton just demolished you on that argument, because he did all the research into Bill Duxler, interviewed Bill Duxler, talked to Bob's former professors at Pierce Junior College in Woodland Hills, California, where he lived after graduating from West Tresper Clark High School in New York in 1979. And Bob Lazar lived in Woodland Hills at an address right next door to Eugene Gluharef. It's all on my website, boblazardebunk.com. You can read up on all this stuff. But yeah, he lived next door to the rocket designer Eugene Gluharef, and that was the guy that strapped built Bob Lazar his first rocket bike. Remember the old picture of teenage 19-year-old Bob Lazar on the rocket bike in the LA Times, right? That was his neighbor, Eugene Gluharef, who he lived next to in Woodland Hills, California. Well, he went to Pierce Junior College in Woodland Hills, California. He did not go to Caltech. He did not go to MIT. He was not part of some secret MIT, training program for elite classified programs and research students. None of that. None of that. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't blocked my new account. He blocked me for years, man. I was destroying him on Facebook and Twitter, and he blocked me on both those, because I was just dominating him on the debates and the research, and I would post it on every one of his posts and expose him, and he couldn't handle that. He cannot handle real information or a real debate. I mean, look how he handled himself in the debate against Stanton Friedman years ago when he first came into this community. So, yeah, it is. It's quite ridiculous that you would come out with a statement claiming that you have access to secret hearings when you don't have a security clearance, and then advocate for the arrest of people who have been trying to investigate this and report on it truthfully and accurately, and because they don't support your bullshit conspiracy, that you now are feel that that's reason to arrest them. It's so stupid, man. It is so. You are part. Yeah, this guy is literally. I don't think he realizes that he was handpicked because he's an idiot to be part of the UFO deception campaign, the massive UFO deception campaign. I think they also picked him because his name's Jeremy. And it's funny. We were trying to search for a Jeremy Riss video of UFO stuff the other night, and if you search Jeremy Riss UFO, I don't even come up. You know who comes up in the feeds? When you search, you literally type my name, Jeremy Riss, UFOs, and all the videos that will come up on the feed are Jeremy Corbell. Explain that, man. Explain that, dude. I've been doing this for 20 years. I started my Alien Scientist YouTube channel in 2008. Was talking about quasi-crystals and metamaterials fucking 15, 20 years ago on MySpace. You can find my MySpace posts about quasi-crystals and metamaterials and the invisibility and stealth tech programs and the warp drive research and all that stuff. All this stuff was shit that I was talking about a decade before TTSA or any of these frauds ever came on the scene to hijack and take control of that narrative and rebrand it and repurpose it for Pentagon UFO disinformation. And that is a fact. I will debate Jeremy Corbell any day, anytime, any place. And I can't wait. I can't wait for more people, and more people are waking up to this and realizing it than ever. You read the comments from all the real people, the ones that aren't the bots and the dead internet bots. And you'll see that people are hip to this guy and all his nonsense in the real research circles, maybe not the mainstream sort of limited hangouts, but certainly within the UFO research circles because of the research that's been done. But yeah, I just wanted to make I don't want to go on too much longer because it's just redundant. I don't want to, but yeah, it's just crazy how they picked this dude and brought him in. No, the Doty's different. So you're talking about a case officer versus an agent, okay? And there's a difference in the literature if you know about how CIA operations work. A case officer is Richard Doty. Richard Doty's a case officer, and what he does is he recruits and trains agents. Okay, case officers, agents don't directly work for the CIA. Agents are basically recruited and put to task by a case officer. And in the first case was Richard Doty, and Lou Elizondo would be an example of the modern case officer, where he has taken control of people like Jeremy Corbell mentally and introduced him to sources within the Pentagon. And now Jeremy Corbell has all these inside sources that are feeding him this real great information. And so he doesn't even realize that he is an agent and being manipulated as a tool of a UFO disinformation campaign. And that's exactly what happened with Jeremy. He is an agent of the CIA, but he is not a case officer, a direct. People confuse this. People talk, oh, you're a CIA agent. You don't even know what that means. If you work for the CIA, you're not an agent. You're a case officer. They have case officers that they assign to different cases, and those people run the intelligence operation on that case, that field, like the UFO field, being Lou Elizondo's assignment, his case that he was admitted to apply his counterintelligence skills and tools to the UFO community. Okay, that is what a case officer does. They recruit gullible idiots and willing minions and pawns like Corbell, who is obviously just like he's infatuated with himself and his own self-image, and he's just completely driven by his ego entirely, nothing else but his ego. And those type of people are incredibly useful and easy to manipulate for a case officer like Lou Elizondo. You can easily just take control of a guy like this, pump him up, build his head up, and put him in charge of, it's easy for the CIA to take a guy like this and manipulate him, give him these fake inside sources, and then put him as the point man and make him think that he's like spearheading some kind of real UFO disclosure. Yes, an agent is just a tool. An agent is not a case officer. It's not the same. It's not how the CIA works. A case officer will go on an assignment, and he will find people just like Jeremy Corbell, and people that can be manipulated through their ego, through money, through sex, through blackmail. A number of manipulations. There's like 5 main techniques that they use, and that's all they have is those 5 tricks. And they look for specifically people that they can manipulate through one of those five things. I've read about how the con man game works. They target people specifically like this for their egos, and it's a tool for the weak, right? It's absolutely. And Jeremy has completely bought into it, doesn't realize that he's being played like a fiddle, and he's basically attacked the real UFO researchers and spread disinformation, and really polluted the field, and really tried to hijack and redefine the entire field of ufology. And they gave him a TV show on TMZ called the UFO Revolution to do that. And that's the reality. And if anyone has a disagreement, you can come see me in a Twitter space, or ask Jeremy Corbell to debate me. And everyone should. I want you to share this video on everything that Jeremy Corbell posts for the next week, and ask him when he's going to debate. When he's going to debate a real UFO researcher. When is he going to put his money where his mouth is, and really have a debate over UFO disinfo? When are we going to have that debate, Jeremy? Because we're never going to find out what the disinfo is and what the truth is if we can't engage in an intellectual conversation with the people we disagree with. So I disagree with you, and I'm ready and willing anytime you are to have a cordial debate over the facts of all UFO disinformation, and we can see who comes out on top, because right now you're just barking up all the wrong trees. Arrow was created essentially an agent of the U.S. government as well, because you realize that Battelle is the case officer who manages all our national labs, who has handled the contracts to do all the secret research. They built the Demon cores for the Manhattan Project, the most classified component of the most classified atomic weapons program of the 40s, right? So Battelle would be like the case officer, and Battelle with Moultrie creates Arrow, just like they created Project Blue Book with Project Stork and Paperclip. Project Stork and Battelle were running the real UFO metallurgy operation, where they had access to crash, recovered, retrieved metals and whatnot. And they created Project Blue Book for the public, version of UFOs, and yeah, it's crazy. I got a new membership here from Paul Keen and Music. Thank you for your support. And Tracy Scott with a 20-pound note for ice cream for the next amazing family day off fun together. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you liked the yeah, it was a great Father's Day. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. You guys are great. And yeah, the YouTube algorithm and the censoring techniques have changed a lot. They waste billions on subverting the public. Yes, they spend billions of dollars on these types of campaigns, on propping up egomaniac driven ignoramuses like Jeremy Corbell to unwittingly spread UFO disinformation in the name of UFO truth and disclosure. That's the funny part. It's how crazy it works. Cool, man. Right on, man. CIA's Operation Mockingbird and Corbell Liu and their crew are the UFO media department of the Mockingbird branch. Yeah, well, it's obvious they took over the whole narrative and have really dominated control of it and silenced the voices that were speaking the truth and really talking about real information. They've done a great job of demonizing and those people, and then getting people to center around a belief system and an ideology that if anyone questions that belief system or ideology, they immediately get cognitive dissonance and say, wait, but plants crave Brondo. How can this be? Brondo's got what plants crave. You're telling me that Brondo's killing the plants? No. Anyways, yeah, it's very crazy what is going on right now and everything. But it's all being exposed, guys, and thank you for your help. But anyways, I wanted to make this short, and we're already at almost a half hour. Bro, I got to get to work. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great week, and keep fighting for the truth, and keep posting this video everywhere you see Jeremy Corbell running his lying mouth. Thank you. Have a great day.